About a week and a half ago here in Texas, we had our big freeze, and some of our fish are not able to handle super cold waters. So a couple days after that freeze, I went out to check what was happening with the fish, and I did find quite a few fish dead on the bottom. A lot of trout, a few reds, some other non-game species. Now here's the thing, at that point the fish were still on the bottom. That water was still very cold, so the fish did not really start decomposing. But now we've had a lot warmer weather, and that water's starting to heat up, and that's going to allow these fish to start decomposing. And what happens when they decompose is they start releasing gases, and they're going to rise up to the top. So now is the time where we're going to get a better idea of the fish kill and see how many fish are dead and what kind of fish. I already went out there and I found some absolute monster fish that unfortunately were dead and had risen to the top. Right now I'm going to show you what I saw on those first couple days where it really started heating up out there. A couple things to keep in mind real quick. I did see a lot of dead fish, but it's definitely not all the fish. Most of the fish does seem like they got along well. I'm definitely going to get into that a little bit later, but also I'm just trying to show what I saw with my eyes and kind of give you my perspective on it. And even in this video, at the end of the video, we are going to be getting into some fishing and see if we can catch some fish still after this freeze. Well, biggest trout I've found so far, and we're barely at the boat launch right now. Pretty crazy, 25 incher. Pretty sad. So right off where I launched the boat, I see this big old speckled trout. I didn't even see it in the car, but just right when I got on the boat, I saw that big guy right there. And that's not a good sign considering we haven't even covered any land yet. Next up, I'm just cruising down the channel where I didn't expect to see any dead fish because there's a lot of deep water right there. And there's another big speckled trout. I think this one was another big one, probably 23, 24 inches. Pretty crazy to see these guys just floating around. A little bit further, still cruising in these channels, I see a dead black drum right there. Didn't want to mess with him, but we did get into some shallow water here, and I found another big trout, man. And all these trout right here, it's crazy. They're all super solid trout. I didn't see so many smaller trout. It was kind of crazy. The big ones kind of equaled the number of the small ones I found. The 20 to 28 inches, I mean, I found a ton of those and not so many of those smaller guys, which kind of makes sense because these bigger fish cannot survive in the cold weather. At least that's what I've found and also what I've heard from biologists. But what do you know, we got another 24 incher, and these fish are kind of all in different areas. You never know really where they died or where they were living during this warmer weather, but I was finding them shallow, I was finding them deep, I was finding them in deep channels, and all these fish right here, they're not even a mile away from the ICW, which should have been the safest place that they could have been other than out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Funny thing is, this area is not really known for really solid trout like what I'm finding here. It's more of a keeper trout area and a dinker hole, but we are finding a ton of these bigger guys. Until finally, I find the biggest fish dead I've seen by far so far. A big freaking redfish. This guy measured 46 inches, and he was even all bent out of shape, so he probably would have stretched 47, 48 inches. Isn't that freaking insane, dude? Freaking monsters, man. The big ones are starting to show up. Well, this is becoming an all too often start to a video right here. Big dead black drum right here from the freeze. Check it out. Not even the other dead fish is right there. And then we got a 20 plus inch trout right there. Now we just left that trout and there's a big old dead bull red up there. That's a 40 plus, easy. That's like a 40, might be like a 45, dude. This, oh, look at that mullet. A living fish, no freaking way. Nah, no way that's a trout. That's a drum, dude. He looks, huh. So in the couple hours I was out there cruising on the boat, man, I probably found 20 plus, 20 to 28 inches speckled trout dead, along with, you know, 3 bull reds, a couple giant black drum, probably 10 or so big redfish. But the really surprising thing to me was all those really big speckled trout. It was pretty crazy. Actually ran out of battery, but I kept finding more and more giant speckled trout. Thing is though, at this point I haven't caught a fish in probably 2 weeks, so we need to go fix that. We're gonna go fishing right now and see what we can get. Oh, it is a fish. This is, I think I snagged a black drum. Unless he ate it. We're freaking using the corky, man. He might have ate it, thinking it's a long dead fish. Could be a red. Could be a trout, you know? That's a giant trout. I didn't bring my net. That's a giant trout. This could be, nah, it's red. Dude, literally, I've never caught a redfish in this exact spot. It's crazy. Fish here quite a few times as well. He engulfed it, boys. Yeah, there's no shot that was a trout. But you know, I always want to believe a little bit. He didn't come up and head shake at all. Did not feel like a trout. Did not run like a trout, but he engulfed it, bro. You think this guy's hungry? My God. Look at that. Look at that, corky. He got it super deep, but not in the gills or anything. Just right on the top of the mouth. Bang, not a bad little red right there. Shoot, coming up on maybe 27, 28, I don't know. We'll let that guy go quick though. That's good. Look at him swimming off. Easy peasy. 45 bucks. Another one, dude. They're stacked, boys. This is the thing, man. Wow, this is crazy. This guy's moving way too fast. Never seen a red move that fast. But it's gotta be, right? Heads are too much for this rod. Dude, these reds just moved in too. I was fishing here for probably 20 minutes, 0 bites, and then just 3 reds in a row. That means they are moving. They could be moving into this little area to feed. They could just be moving past. But at least they are moving, man. They're not just holed up all in one area. Look at that, dude. I'm telling you, they're pretty freaking hungry. Woohoo! Super easy release. All right, it's time to wrap up my thoughts on this fish kill. There's a couple super important things that I think we need to keep in mind. First thing is, it's important to know that, you know, every area along the Texas coast was hit different. Some areas, you know, didn't have many fish die at all. In other areas, like the area I'm in, Corpus Christi, Aransas Pass, Port Aransas, we have quite a few dead fish. And another thing to keep in mind is, even though we were hit relatively hard, I am showing only the highlights of this fish kill. In this case, the highlights being dead fish, unfortunately. But even in the areas that are hit hard, it's just, we don't have piles and piles and piles of dead trout as they perhaps did in the 1983 freeze. So I definitely don't think it's anywhere near that bad. But it is important to know that different areas did get hit differently. And, you know, with that, even within the different areas, different fish species got hit differently. Speckled trout got hit relatively bad. Redfish, not as bad, but I definitely did see quite a few dead redfish to go along with it. And even within species like speckled trout, the little ones seem to be better off, and I did find a lot more of those dead middle 20 to even bigger 28, 29 inches. So listen, my guess is as good as yours at this point. I'm not a marine biologist. I'm not doing rigorous research on this, but just to give you my perspective, I would say it's definitely okay to go out there and fish. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm definitely gonna be catch and releasing, and of course I encourage that as well. It does look like we're not gonna get any real reports on this, scientific reports, until maybe March, when they're gonna do their trawling and get the real numbers on the amount of dead fish. And one more thing I will say to put things in perspective is, I did see, you know, 4, 5, 6 pretty giant bull reds, but at the same time, just last year, man, at the jetties, even on one day, I found 3 or 4 giant bull reds, and they were all dead because people mishandled them. So fishermen, believe it or not, can have a big impact on our fishery. So right now is the time to really focus on how we're handling these fish. Even me, I've always put an emphasis on it. You know, sometimes I get excited and I mishandle fish, but now is definitely the time to focus in on handling and treating the fish that we have correctly. With that said, I love you guys very much. Be safe. I'll talk to you guys later.